How does it sound? It sounds good. I'll do whatever you say. Obviously, it sounds good. You will definitely enjoy it. You will enjoy everything I provide you with and tell you to do. I can't imagine any sort of negativity or disagreement coming from one of my friends. I will assume that we share this philosophy when it comes to friendship. You say, oh yes, absolutely. You nod as enthusiastically as you can without aggravating your broken ribs. You consider giving her a thumbs up as well, until you realize one of your arms is probably broken too. You'll try to make sure she doesn't notice though. It would probably leave a bad impression. Come with me. There's something I need your help with. You follow her into her hive. It's a bit gloomy in here. You suppose she's going to fix you something to eat soon, as promised. You pass through her kitchen and out the other side to another room. Okay, you guess dinner can wait. This way. Try not to let any of your broken limbs slow you down. A good friend wouldn't allow such trifling physical ailments to cause me any inconvenience. Oh, so you guess she does know you're injured. Fair enough. You hobble a little faster, through another door into a much darker room, and now down a flight of stairs? It's hard to see. There are torches along the wall ahead. A monstrous noise rumbles below. Don't mind her. She's just hungry. She's always hungry, though. What's that? You're hungry too? I have not forgotten. What sort of piece of shit friend do you take me for? You didn't remind her that you're hungry. You thought it, though. Can she read your mind? You hope not. That's going to make this friendship in progress a bit awkward. Here we are. This is where you will be the most useful to me as a friend. You look around. With a sense of relief, you see no sign of whatever hungry thing was grumbling down here. You are less relieved to see several other kids trapped in cages of various shape and size. One of them makes eye contact with you. The boy is the same kind of alien as her, horns and all. He has a dark red symbol on his shirt. His expression seems to plead with you. He struggles to say, "Help!" Your new friend looks unamused and twitches her finger. "Help-blow?" he says. "Help-blow? By which I mean, hello, of course. Looks like you're the new friend in progress chosen by the great and beautiful Ardata. She's my savior, my reason for being. I am nothing without her. I'd hollow myself out and let her make a nest inside of me, if she'd permit it." You turn away from this boy. You don't want to hear anything he has to say, ever again. Don't mind him. He's always regarded himself as a comedian. Come, over here. This is what I need your help with if you're going to have any value to me as a friend. You're led to a dank corner of this, well, you're gonna call it like you see it, this dungeon. Your new friend has a dungeon full of sad, suffering children, and presumably a monster lurking somewhere in here as well. It's not ideal. Then again, social beggars like you can't be choosers. I've been having an awful time with it. You can do it for me. It will save me time. You look at the thing in question. You doubt she's been having an awful time with it. You doubt this because it's still in its box, looking completely untouched since it was brought down here. It's a box containing a table? A table that looks ominously like it was designed to keep a person strapped to its surface. I will need you to assemble it. Here's a screwdriver in case you need it. I will assume other required tools are contained within the box. You take the screwdriver with your non-broken arm. This isn't exactly what you had in mind. You don't know what you had in mind, really. A warm meal and friendly banter? Perhaps a sling for your arm and a remedial balm for your ribs. Still, you open the box without protest. Hold on. Before you start, this will make for excellent content. My fans will appreciate this. She sets up a video recording device on a tripod and points it at you. A video feed comes to life on several monitors just behind you. You see in one corner of a screen an unflattering angle of your torso hunched over the furniture box. Other rectangles contain shots of the other kids in cages around the room. You suppose cameras are pointing at them, too. You had no idea this friendship came with the perk of instant stardom. Now you may begin. She's suddenly sitting in a comfortable-looking chair facing you and holding a chalice, swishing around some viscous liquid it contains. You have all the parts spread out on the floor, organized according to their labels in the instructions. You try to remember the last time you assembled something like this. You don't recall enjoying it. To be perfectly honest, this doesn't look like it will be fun at all. She frowns conspicuously. Oh, how sad for you. I'm sorry. Is this activity not to your liking? You reassure her vigorously that no, it actually looks amazing. You love shit like this. It's what you were born for, you say, as you swish the screwdriver around, demonstrating your plainly evident skill with the tool. Forget the thing you just thought. Completely arbitrary and wrong thoughts pop into your head all the time. It meant nothing, you swear. Yes, I hear that a lot. Continue. You open the little bag full of screws. Jesus, there are like 50 screws to this thing. Where can most of these screws possibly even go? Judging from the picture, the table really doesn't seem that complicated. You look at your screwdriver, then study the screws. Every single one requires an Allen wrench. Does this even come with an Allen wrench? The instructions seem to suggest it does. You look around, but don't see one. Did you open the bag too forcefully? Did the Allen wrench go bouncing off into a dark dungeon crevice nearby? Maybe you lost some of the screws, too. Damn it. You begin to sweat and look around nervously. You check underneath one of the parts. No, it's not under there. You grip the screwdriver a little tighter. You wonder what to do next. Just do your best assembling the table. This is what friends are for. You decide it would be best not to complain about the missing Allen wrench. Your friend would probably consider it bad form. You'll just make do and twist in all the screws by hand, as best you can. Your broken arm isn't making this any easier. You favor the other one and prop pieces into place precariously, leaning against each other, while you nudge them into position with your legs so the screw holes align. It's really frustrating work, you're not gonna lie. As you are twisting in the first screw, the grooves slip and the screw gets stuck, but you've already turned it too tight. Now it's hard to get it out. You twist in reverse harder. But your fingers slip and the table pieces start to slide. They're going to fall. You react to catch them, but it's too late. The heavier piece tips over and slams you in the broken ribs on its way to the floor. It hits the floor with a bang. The stuck screw pops out and goes bouncing 10 or 15 feet away, settling deep underneath a piece of dungeon furniture. God, you're probably gonna need to get that. You hear a light chuckle. Good. Good. She takes another sip from her chalice and settles even more comfortably into her chair. Is she enjoying this? You think she's enjoying watching you struggle to put this stupid thing together. Maybe a little too much. Nevertheless, you continue. A friend is a friend, and you don't like to let your friends down. You've committed yourself to this project. You will get the screw out from under there a bit later. Maybe when you need the final screw, you turn your attention back to the table pieces and try a different strategy. You place the biggest part, the table platform, flat on the floor. The legs would be pointing upwards if they were attached. You position one leg in the right spot, in alignment with the holes, sit on the table platform, and steady the leg with your feet. You grab another screw and concentrate. She sounds so pleased. It's strange, you admit, for watching this sort of activity to make someone so happy. But you also have to admit to taking a certain pride in it. It's wonderful, actually, to feel useful, wanted, important even, if only somewhat menially, to a great new friend who has discovered a way for your talents to improve her life. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice one of the cage kids reaching out with his hand. He's concentrating. Then you notice the screw you lost slowly slide out from it from underneath its hiding place. Nice! Everyone's working like a team down here. Ardata does not look at the kid, but sneers a bit. She reaches towards him, and he appears to have trouble breathing. After a moment, you notice the screw slowly slides back under the thing. She releases him from his breathing problems, resumes her pleasant expression, and takes another sip from the chalice. You guess that was against the rules? You decide to make a note of it. Your friend runs a tight ship down here. You respect that. About an hour later, you have all 4 legs on, plus some other accoutrements attached. You wrestle mightily with the thing to get it upright, using your only good arm. It seems she may have forgotten about the final missing screw. You doubt the table needs it. You decide you won't bring it up if she won't. You give it a test. It's pretty wobbly since you were only able to tighten the screws with your bare fingers, but again, she doesn't seem to mind. She reclines and has a look on her face which makes her appear absolutely enamored of your handiwork. She has finished her drink and the chalice is on a side table. Some awful-looking thing crawls along the floor toward her. It looks like some sort of spider, the size of an average dog. Its abdomen is preposterously large. Actually, you think it's a huge tick? That's what it looks like. It settles just in front of her. She puts her legs on top of it and crosses them. It settles under their weight and grumbles. Let's try it out, shall we? You shrug and sit down on the rather rickety table. You're about to lie down, but she interrupts you. No. You fool, you absolute fool! What do you think you're doing? That's not what I meant. Get up. You stand up, embarrassed. Again, without looking at the caged kid, she raises an arm toward him and beckons. He stares blankly and opens his own cage, which apparently wasn't locked. He snuffles vacantly over to your table and lies down on its surface. She looks at you expectantly. You aren't sure what to do. What? You didn't think I'd be playing table stickball on that thing, did you? You aren't sure what table stickball is. Oh, you really are pretty simple, aren't you? It's like a miniature version of arena stickball played on a table. Got it? You don't, but you nod. Now, go to it. You shackle the kid's arms and legs to the table. That seems to be the right thing to do since the thing comes fitted with shackles. She gets up and lifts her huge tick-like pet. It makes more grumpy noises. She plops the enormous thing right down on the kid's chest. He appears rendered unable to protest. The tick bites the boy's neck and begins to feed. She smiles and pats its swelling abdomen. Dark, rust-colored blood dribbles from the place where it is attached to the boy's neck. Moments go by while she looks gratified by the process, proud even. Then she looks at you expectantly. Well? You don't know what she means. The final screw. Aren't you going to retrieve it and screw it into wherever it needs to go? The job isn't done. I don't keep the company of many individuals who leave things unfinished, you know. Of course. What were you thinking? You should have known your friend wouldn't let that go unnoticed. Actually, you feel like an idiot for thinking it would. You stoop very low to the ground, on your knees, placing your cheek just above the floor. You peer under the large edifice. It's dark in there and goes back a ways. Lots of room for that darn little screw to roll. You take a few pitiful swipes with your good arm, but come up empty. It must be further back. You think you can see it? Yeah, that must be it. Just a little further. You have an idea. A tool would be helpful. Guess the screwdriver will come in handy after all. How did she know? Your new friend must be very wise. You think you're liking her more every minute. You grab the screwdriver and feel around with it. Yes, you got it. You carefully scrape it closer to yourself and then pick it up. You then go back to the table to find the one remaining hole you left unscrewed. You slide under the table as a mechanic would with a car. There it is. The table is creaking and wobbling quite a bit now. The tick is really getting into its dinner, it seems. All the loose screws in the table have added up to a lot of give and leeway in the overall stability of the furnishing. Maybe the final screw will help. Ardata has returned to the setup with the monitors. She's adjusting some settings on the feed, controlling the zoom of the camera, and typing some remarks into a chat window. This is very good material today. It's not often that I can provide content of this caliber to my subscribers. Go on, complete your project. This will be very good. You still think it's weird that she likes watching you put furniture together so much, but you're not one to judge friends. Sounds like a great way to lose friends, honestly. You screw in the final screw, but the stresses on the table are causing the holes to be misaligned. This won't be easy. The huge tick shifts its grotesque body above you, causing the table to creak loudly. You nervously slide halfway out from under the table to check it out. Then a loud pop. Then the sound of scraping metal. 6 or 7 screws shoot out of the desk like rivets in a sinking submarine. What a piece of shit this thing is, you think a little too late. You really needed that Allen wrench. All 4 legs splay dramatically out from underneath it at once, like a baby deer on ice. The table platform comes crushing down on your lower torso, breaking your pelvis. You bellow in pain and flail to pull yourself out. You forget that you're still holding the screwdriver. In your desperate flailing, you plunge the screwdriver into the fat abdomen of the tick, which begins gushing rust blood with great force, spraying your entire upper body and face. The beast starts thrashing wildly and screaming. You can't see your new friend due to the blood in your eyes, but you can't imagine she's thrilled about what's going on here. Your annihilated pelvis is in perfect agony. You have to get your miserable torso out from under the shitty table. You have an idea. With your broken arm, you start slapping the big ass of the screaming tick while yelling, "Yee-haw!" You clutch the screwdriver handle with your other hand hard. The blood-gushing monster starts kicking and rearing, then blasts off across the dungeon floor like a pig at a rodeo. You hold on for dear life, still blind, but your plan works. You've been pulled out from under the tomb you've spent the last hour constructing for yourself. Your pelvis is in ruins, but at least you're free now and riding like the wind. As you and the blood-spewing tick go tearing around the room, crashing into stuff, you hear a boy crying. You guess Ardata became distracted enough by your foolish display to cease her paralyzation method on him, or maybe distracted is the wrong word. Maybe she's disappointed by your foolishness? Oh god, you might be blowing it right now. The tick swerves suddenly and starts running up the stairs. Ow, ow, ow! Your brittle pelvis feels every step on the way up. Careens through the rest of the hive, crashes through the front door, then comes to a sudden halt. You're catapulted violently over its backside and sail 50 yards through the air. You land on your ass and wipe the blood from your eyes. Okay, this was embarrassing. But everyone makes mistakes, right? You can still salvage this friendship, you know you can! You turn back to look at her hive. Ardata is standing in her doorway with a furious look on her face. She is flipping you off.
You will not be my friend.